All right, welcome to today's tech class. I'm just double checking, make sure I'm sharing my screen. Yep. So this is part two of Canva, and hopefully you've gone through and created your Canva accounts, whether it's a free account or a paid account. Today, I want to spend a little time on helping you set up a set of graphics, a standard set of graphics, if you will, so that you have things that you can use whether you're doing a sneak peek, a new listing, a pending, or you want to celebrate a closing. So those are kind of the four social media posts. I mean, there's a bunch more, but those are the four standard posts. So just to give you an idea of kind of what we're going to create, I'll show you. We're going to create a master files folder. Inside of that, we're going to have a few of these different things, and you'll see these graphics are really similar where they use the exact graphic, and feel free to use the exact graphic that I use, or I'm going to show you how to find your own graphics and use it. But we will have a graphic that is new to the market, as you can see here on your screen. We'll also have a price improvement graphic. And you see very similar graphic, just slightly different words. And then we'll also do sneak peeks, pendings, and sold, and even a sold as a buyer, and you can do a coming soon as well. So this is what I want you to be able to have so that when you take a new listing, you can come here, basically create copies of these, and then you have, we talk a lot about branding. This will allow you to have a set brand where all of your graphics look similar, and when people see the certain colors that you use or the certain fonts that you use and things like that, they automatically associate that house with you without even having to read the post. So that's the goal behind today. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to show you how to do everything based on the free Canva account. So again, if you attended last or watched the video last time, the paid account gets you a lot more options, and it is what I use, especially for scheduling through social media. But I'm going to show you how to do everything on the free account today because it still has a lot of power. First thing that we're going to do is, let me go to the homepage. Right here in the middle, what will you design? I want you to put a home for sale, and then click Canva templates right here. And when you do that, it'll tell you to search will be your first option. So we're going to click there. And it's going to give you a ton of different home for sale flyers. And I'll just slowly scroll through a couple of these. Keep in mind that if it has this little gold crown, and you see when I hover over it, it says Pro, that means you can only use it if you're doing a paid account. But for today, we're going to select one that we like that is not a paid account, and we're going to pick a size that is something that we'll use for social media. So what I mean by that is the square is going to be better in social media than this is more for like a flyer. And you can even put in, if you wanted, you could add to the top and put in social media if you wanted, just to make sure that you get something that is close to what you want. So, but let's go ahead and dive into this. For the first thing, I'm just going to pick this very first graphic. Again, feel free to look through these, pick any one that you want, but I'm going to click on this one, and then you're going to go to customize this template. When you go to customize this template, a couple of things. This is what's going to allow you to edit it. Don't worry, we're going to walk through exactly how to edit this and how to create it. But before you do that, I want you to pause, and I want you to do a couple of things for me. Number one, we're going to rename this, and it is going to, well, inside here, we're going to say for sale, and then I use the word master. That just means, and I'll put do not edit this one. Just as a reminder to myself that I want to have one master file, and then I'll show you kind of what you do behind that. So the next thing we're going to do after you rename it is you're going to come up to the top here. I want you to click File, and I want you to come down to Move to a Folder. We're going to create a folder that contains all of our master files. So inside of here, we're going to click Create New because you won't have a folder yet. And we're going to say Master Files. And you can rename it anything you want. Master Property Files, just whatever that reminds you of, hey, here's my standard set of files. And then you're going to click Move to Folder. So now that we have done that, I'm going to show you this real quick. Let me go to a different page. Now that we've done that, if you come to Canva and you can come down to Projects here, click Folders, And inside of here, obviously, I've been using it for a while, so I have a whole bunch of folders in here. You can just come up and either do a search or actually scroll through. And what we're going to do is find that master folder. So let me scroll down until I find it. Bear with me for just a second here. I'm going to switch to newest edited. By the way, that'll help you once you've been using this for a while, save you a lot of trouble. So you can see here's the master file. So you can see inside that master file, here's the file that we're working off of. Okay, so just wanted to show you how you can find that real quick. Okay, so now inside of here, now that we have our master file, now we're going to go in and actually edit this to whatever we want it to be. So for example, inside of here, I'm going to put in my phone number. Obviously, you'll put in yours. Over here on the website, we're going to put in our website. Obviously, use your KW website here. Okay. The address, I leave this as 123 Anywhere Street. Price, I don't like starts from. I typically will just have the actual price inside of there. I'm going to also center this graphic just so it looks a little bit better for me. And by the way, see how I centered it, but it's not centered? It's because my text box isn't the same size as what I'm using. So I'm going to change this a little bit. See how I drug it to the ends there? And now I can take that and I can increase the font until it's a size that I like. So let's move that up a little bit. There we go. So just like that. Book now, I don't use buttons on my graphics because remember we're uploading this to social media. So inside of here, you could always put in a text. Let me undo that. Click inside the text and say call now or anything you wanted. You could obviously put, contact me for showings. You can make that box bigger. You can do any of those things. Key features, obviously, you'll update that as the house goes, or as according to the house that you're actually building this for. You can change any of these things that you want. I actually kind of like this. I do want to show you this. I like to use colors, certain colors inside my graphics. So inside of here, if I click on the background, then I can come up to my color wheel and I can change the color to anything that I want. Me, personally, I like blacks and reds and whites because that is kind of the general colors that I use a lot. Again, feel free to do anything you want to do there. Inside of here, of course, all this font was white. So when we change it to a white background, that obviously goes away. So I'm gonna have to come in and click here and then just change my font colors to whatever it is that I want to use. I'm just going to use my own personal branding. The boxes inside of there, we'll make those. Oops, click the wrong button. Hold on. There's obviously little boxes here. Let me change this color back so I can see it. 1 second. Change that back to black. Okay. So I'm going to go through now and update all of these little boxes and different things to colors so that once I switch it over, it'll look good. I got to move that where I can grab that box. That's the one thing about Canva, and like anything, sometimes it can be a little bit tough to grab the exact graphic that you want. So you have to kind of move things out of the way and then click on them. So we'll get this box and change it to gray. Okay. Now, when I change this back, this box will need to be gray. So now when I switch this bottom background to a different color, and again, I'm going to use white, you can kind of see how it shows up. And if you don't like, obviously, I don't really like that gray the more I look at it. So I'm probably going to switch this out for the sake of time. I'm not going to switch them all, but just so you know, you can come down here and pick like a lighter gray, something along those lines. And of course, make it look how you want it to look, and then switch those out, which I do like that kind of color gray. So actually, I think I will switch these out because I might end up actually using this. Let's switch this one out too. There we go. Okay, and then of course you could switch your boxes to match the same colors. Oops. There we go. So you can have something like this, change this font. Again, this is all personal preferences. It's however you want to set it up. But this would be a typographic that I could use now. And again, Dream Home for Sale, this is a for sale graphic. So now all you have to do, now that this is set up, let's say this is the image that you wanted to go with. The next thing is you would just come in, and if you remember from last time, you would upload your photos that you wanted to use. Let's just pretend like what you do in this house. And then you can just drag and drop them over. Of course, you'd have to resize them and make them fit how you want. I'm just kind of showing you some examples. Drag and drop stuff over to wherever you wanted it so that it shows all the pictures of your unique listing. Keep in mind, you can change the size a little bit in order to be able to change either the circles themselves, or if you wanted to edit the image itself, you can come to crop and then move this around. You can shrink this down a little bit. It'll only let you shrink so that the top and bottom is in. So it's not going to give me a lot of options, but I would center this probably more where you can see the porch and that front window, something along those lines. And of course, you can always shrink these down too. By the way, I'm holding Control or Command or Shift, excuse me, and that's what lets me select multiple items. And then I can shrink those down. So if I wanted to do this so that maybe I'm, showing more of the main photo, I could have it look something along these lines. And again, you have all the freedom in the world to kind of adjust this and play with this any way that you want. So this is going to be our baseline graphic. Couple things that I'm going to do just for my graphics. This again is just my personal taste. I like to have script inside of mine, so I like to use, it's either Lemon Tuesday or Brittany. I think it's Brittany. No, that's not it. Breathing. There we go. That's the one I like. So Breathing's the one that I use for all mine. And you can have for sale, home for sale, dream home for sale, anything you want along those lines. Let's see. Home for sale. Let's center that. I'm just clicking these till I get it. There we go. There's the center. Drop this in. And again, if you don't like that font, you're free to use anything that you want. So this will be your base copy. Now, what I want you to do from here is we have our for sale copy. The next thing we want to do is we want to create a pending copy. So I'm going to come up to File. I'm going to go to Make a Copy. You can see it opens it on a whole new page. Before I edit anything, I'm going to come in and change the name. So the back end stays the same, and I'm going to do pending or under contract, depending on what verbiage you use. And you can see I changed the name there, and then I'm going to come to File, move to Folder, and I'm going to move that to my master file. So now, and the reason I do that exact order is when I refresh and I'm in my master files page, you can see now I have a for sale master and a pending master. And we'll repeat this process through each different thing that we do. So let me close out the other one so I don't accidentally click on those. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to come in and change basically just this graphic. And I'm going to have it say under contract. Something along those lines. You could say this home, again, use any verbiage that you want. Too late, this home sold, things along those lines. Any verbiage that you want to use inside of here. But then you're just changing basically this graphic to match what you want it to be. Then now that we've done that, then we're going to do this exact same thing again. We're going to come up to File. We're going to make a copy. I'm going to rename this one, and this one's going to be my sold. Okay. So again, same thing. Of course, you could change anything you wanted to change inside of here, but I'll put this, this home is sold. Again, too late, whatever verbiage you want to use. We're going to change the name, change the graphic, and then come up to File. We're going to move to a folder and then move to that master files folder that we created inside of here. Hey, Ryan, I saw you jumped on. I'm going to share this recording in the beginning on how to create master files, just so you know. You only missed about 5 to 10 minutes worth of stuff, so you can catch up real quick. So now we have a sold post, and then we're going to keep repeating this process as long as and get all the graphics that we need. So next thing I might do is a open house. So file, make a copy, close my old copies, rename this one open house. Okay. And then I'm going to put here, again, it's kind of repetitive, but I want to make sure you all get the point. You can do open house. You can put graphics behind it, anything you want to do along those lines. And inside of here, instead of the call now, I'm going to put, I'll put the date, Saturday 1 to 3 p.m. And I'm going to drag this over. See how that box, my background box, isn't big enough to carry all my words? I can make my words smaller or my box bigger. In this case, I'm just going to make my box bigger. Center that in the box and do something along those lines. And then, of course, again, you'll update all of these graphics and different things however you want, using any font that you want as well. So if you don't like this design, again, I just kind of created one really quick. And then we're going to make sure that that is in our folder, our master files folder. Yeah. So again, what we're doing is we're building out this master files folder. So when I refresh it, now you can see, and here's what I want you to see is that all my graphics are basically the same. And then that's what creates the branding, where if you go, and if you want a great example of this, go to my team page. And I'll admit it, we're not the best on social media, but we're consistent in regards to our graphics. You can see inside of here, this is my under contract post for one of the listings that we have pending. If we go new to market, and now I want you to see this, like our graphics are very consistent. So same style graphic with just different verbiage. Here's our coming soon. It's the one that's kind of a little bit different. Keep in mind your MLS rules if you're in Gora, 24 hours only. Here's an example of our sold post. Again, the graphic stays the same. Here's our, again, under contract, I posted that one twice apparently. Price improvement is another one that we'll use. And then also new listing here. So, and again, keep in mind, I only change little small things. So I'll follow you. I'll take you on the journey of this Lansdowne. So here's the new listing post. You can see we have our team logo, our brokerage logo, obviously the address. We overlay an agent photo over top of it. A couple of inside pictures, new listing, the agent's phone number, beds, baths, square footage, and then we always include our website. Then once it goes pending, you can see, let me go up to that pending. Here it is. Basically the exact same graphic. Like literally all I did was come in and right here under contract, I actually put in, or where this used to say for sale, and now it says under contract. Then once something closes, here's an example of a closing post. Again, you can see the graphic is very similar. I just switched the sold and then I flipped me over to this other side. So I'll just do little minor things to kind of show differences, or to show a little bit of a difference. I'll also show you, let me scroll down to my photos. Photos. I want to show you an open house because that one is like, well, I'll show you this. Here's a price improvement again, where it said for sale. I just put in price improvement and I added this shadow box with some graphics over top of it that said what the new price was, since it was a price improvement. Some people don't share prices on social media, so you don't have to do that part. And then open house, literally again, same graphic. I took out our inserts. I put in open house, and then over here, instead of it having the address, I moved the address down here to the bottom and put in my open house times here. So that's what I wanted to kind of show you all today is you can come in and create these master files, which is what we just did. So whenever you get a new listing, here's your for sale post. Then once you put it under contract, here's your pending post. Then once it sells, here's your sold post. And then also, if you're doing an open house or a price improvement, here's your open house post, and you can create a price improvement post as well. Now, like I said, if you like the way that these graphics or this graphic looks, just text me later today. I will gladly share our templates with you. I don't mind. Feel free. I tell people all the time, I haven't had an original idea since 1982. I was born in 1980. I'm a big fan of rip off and duplicate. So you can either go in and search and find your own graphics, home for sale, or just use one of mine. And you can see when I do home for sale, it pulls up all the ones that I've done. Let me take out, click Canva templates, and then search home for sale. And there's hundreds of graphics in here. So I really like, if you had the pro account, honestly, if I didn't have my graphics and wasn't so branded, I really love this one, just saying. And then you can even create flyers and other things inside of here, but there's a bunch that are unpaid. Like this one is a free one that you can use and adjust. If you like the layout of something, so I'll show you this real quick. Like this one, I just personally, my last name's Brown, so I don't have anything against the color brown, but I do not like it in a graphic. You keep in mind, you can come in and just click inside of here and change anything to any color that you like. So if you like this graphic style, but you just don't like all of these colors and you would rather use a different color, let me move this around a little bit. 1 second here. Then I can come in, change all of these to whatever color that I wanted. And then I'm like, oh, it doesn't, the red doesn't really look good with that background. I can click on the background and then change that as well. And you can see just by changing a couple of colors, look at how modern and different that this looks. Like graphics, if you like the modern style, it's bright, it's white, a lot of white, a little bit of color pop, and a lot of black inside of there. So now, if you wanted, this could be your master file. You go through all those same steps that I showed you in the beginning, so that now, whenever you want, you can come in, pick a graphic. Let's go find some photos. We'll throw this one inside of there. We'll swap out our inside. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Don't double click, it'll automatically add them. By the way, if you click a photo, it adds it. If you drag and drop a photo, it'll resize it to exactly what you had on there. So you can see just in 30 seconds, I just took this original brown, not too pretty, at least in my opinion, graphic, switched a couple colors and updated it and made it a very modern graphic style. So, and again, you can go in, update all of these things, put in your email, put in your website, put in your address, throw your logo on top of there. One last thing I want to show you is, let me find we'll use Kevin's here. If you wanted to include an agent graphic and it has a background, another reason that you might want to consider a paid account is if you come to edit image and go to background remover, you can see if it has the crown. Keep in mind, this means that you have to have a paid account. Then you can do a background image or remove the background, and I'll show you that real quick. So let me just move some stuff around. Let's just say I'm not going to use this photo, and I really want to highlight Kevin inside of here. Oh, another thing. See how this included that little table there? Well, if you have the paid account, you can use the magic eraser. And then inside of here, I can highlight out anything that I don't want to be included. Yep. And then hit erase. It'll take it a second, but it'll actually delete that out. There we go. Okay. So now that I've done that, you can see that part's gone. I'm probably just going to drag this down and make it where you can't see any of that. The other thing is, see how this graphic is in front of my bar? Well, if I want this bar to be on the front, basically, I can come up to position, click position, and move it forward. If I move it forward, it moves it to think of the surface. If I move it backwards, and watch, I'll show you, I can move it backwards and it'll go back behind it. Same thing for the background image, just to give you a more, which background it won't let you do, but let's drag this over here. Just to give you an example of this real quick, we're going to go to position. If I move it backwards, you can see it puts it underneath this arrow. I just pointed at the screen like y'all could see what my hands are doing. But it puts it behind this arrow. If I click backwards again, now it puts it behind the photo. So if you insert some text and it looks like this, and you trust me, let me save you some frustration. You can't figure out why. Go to position and then just click forward a couple times and it'll put it on top of everything, just like that. So, but yeah, that's the quick down and dirty. How do you create a graphic set so that you have a set of templates that you can use, so that now when you come into Canva, you're just going to simply go to projects. You're going to scroll down to master files or whatever you call it. For me, it's property graphics, just so you all know. I'll show you mine real quick. Property graphics. I keep one folder with all of our properties in it, and then the master files come in here, and you can see master files, do not edit, only copy. And then this is my template, if you will, that I use for every single, and that's what creates that consistency that I just showed you on my Facebook pages. So that's the how do you create master files and templates inside of Canva. Ryan or Cheryl, if y'all have any questions, you can ask me now, and we got a couple minutes before my contract class stays. Or if you want my templates, just shoot me a message and I'll